Hey everybody, it's your friend Sarmate here, and we're back with another episode of Farthest Frontier. I hope you're having a fantastic and amazing day today. Well, it's been quite a while since we visited our town of Meadowbrook here, so we gotta do a little bit of a recap. We are currently waiting on a very important resource that had just pulled up into our town, and that's going to be our heavy tools. So over here we have our blacksmith forge site building up. We're also waiting on some glassmaker. Both of these are waiting for heavy tools. So we are going to go ahead and visit our merchant who has arrived and buy a bunch of these heavy tools. I have a bunch of gold in here, 1,400, a little bit saved up in the town, not a whole lot, but we should be able to grab enough of these heavy tools to really get going here. I'm going to max out as many as we can. I think it's going to be like 4. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get 4, and we are going to put these into town storage. So we're going to go ahead and lose a gold, of course, and then we should have 4 heavy tools. There we go. Excellent. So now, once those things are brought into storage, we are going to be able to build up our blacksmith forge and then hopefully start to create our own heavy tools. A lot of these T3 buildings utilize heavy tools to even operate. So if you can't supply your own heavy tools, you're going to have to be buying them, and they are kind of expensive. So it's good to get your own process going. So that's what we're going to work on a little bit. I did need to put in a few more homes over here, and it looks like we're waiting on a well, which is right here. So we'll get that built up. And I noticed that we had a couple pubs that we put in, and they were just sitting there. And the reason they're just sitting there is because we don't have a brewery yet. So we have to get the brewery set up before the pubs are going to be utilized. So we're going to work on that right in here. It's going to be a T3 item. That's going to be right here, the brewery. Not too bad, 50 planks and 30 stone, so we can absolutely get this thing going. Oh, one thing I want to check before we build it. Okay, the desirability effect, that's what I wanted to see. And it's neutral, so that doesn't mean that we have to put it over here in our little town, in our little industrially area. We can place it anywhere we want, so I think I'm going to put it more towards housing stuff, because it doesn't hurt it. We're going to go ahead and put our brewery here, our first one anyways. We'll probably have more than one. We have a little bit of a laborer shortage going on right now. Lots of vacant spots, kind of just waiting on some more immigrants, and we want to make sure that we're feeding our people, of course, so we're not losing anybody to starvation. We seem to be doing pretty well on that right now. We did just get a building that was abandoned, which is unfortunate. We are going to have to wait for this to get... let's see if we can actually salvage this and rebuild it. Okay, we can. I've had it before where you had to wait till the thing collapsed before you could do anything with it. We're just going to go ahead and demo it and then rebuild it. It's just a house, right? Yeah, so not that big of a deal. Kind of sucky, though. We want to avoid that if we can. The brewery is going to use a lot of honey, so let's make sure that we have enough apiaries around. I think we have a pretty fair amount of them. Looks like we got about 5. So let's check our stock of our honey, and let's see, 176. That's pretty good. And you know what? I think I moved a handful of it into the trading post even. So let's see. Yeah, we have 200 in the trading post. So we could get that back into our stock here so we can use it for making beer. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And the reason why I put it in here was trying to get enough gold to purchase those heavy tools, which, speaking of which, let's see if they have made their effect yet. And they have. Blacksmith forge, good to go. I'm going to take one person out of there, and I'm going to specifically create heavy tools for a while here. We're just going to put those productions at 0, and we'll put this at 1. So they're going to only create heavy tools. I think what happens with this is if you aren't creating enough iron to really keep up with this blacksmith forge, as soon as it gets 4 iron, it's going to create your tools. And similarly, it's going to hit, once you hit 8, it's going to hit the 1. And if you can't get enough, you never ever reach heavy tools. And I had this problem in our stream, and I'm going to try to avoid it here by putting a little bit more in of our production and turning off the other 2 for now until we really get going with our iron smelting here with the foundry. We're currently working on both gold and iron. I'm tempted to build eventually maybe here 1 foundry for gold and 1 for iron, just to really get the iron production focused. And that's going to, of course, require us to need more coal, so we're going to have to make sure that we have enough coal stored up, or we're going to have to find some more. We got 166, so some, but not a ton. Let's see, I don't even know where we have our coal set up, so give me 1 sec. All right, so the reason why I couldn't remember where our coal setup was is because we don't have one. So I can't even see any coal on the map. I did a quick buzz around and was looking to see if I could find any, and I can't find anything. So what we're gonna have to do then is watch our coal stocks and be trading for coal as often as we can. So it's gonna be a little bit of a tricky thing to make sure that we can maintain enough coal in between merchant visits so that we can continue to run our smithies and all those other things that are gonna utilize coal. It looks like our brewery is good to go here. We are using firewood, water, grain, and honey to make some beer. And it looks like we haven't made any quite yet. Let's see, transferring goods and idle. Looks like we're just gonna keep our eye on this and make sure that everything is what it needs to be. Okay, we just got that grain in there. Okay, so it must have just completed, and hopefully we get some beer here pretty quickly, which would be awesome, because then we can put some more people into our pubs, which is then going to increase the desirability of everything around here. And that's gonna evolve our houses, and it's just gonna be all the better. And I'm getting this, villagers that need more coats. So we have to find a tannery, so let's see if we can do that. And here is our tannery. So this is a negative effect on desirability. So we're going to plop this as far away from the town as we can. And we're gonna go ahead and put this guy, it'll work right there. And that's a pretty basic one, so it's just gonna take a few stones and some wood, nothing too crazy. Let's just double check our labor count again. We are still waiting on some more people to come visit us. We have only one healer. That might not be a great thing. We might need more than one. I think the healers can have a lot of people inside their office, I guess, all at once. But we don't need a ton of them. But I want to make sure that we can deal with the sick people we have. So here's our one healer's house that has an opening, and here's the second one. It looks like they're not currently seeing any patients, so that's good. We are keeping up with whoever's sick. That's awesome. So we'll continue to watch that and put another person in here if we need to. I did notice that our preservist building did have 2 people working in it. I took those people out of there because we don't have any glass. If we don't have any glass, the people in the preservist building don't have any tools to preserve the goods, and so they're just sitting there. So we're not gonna have them do that. So what we wanna do is we're waiting for this glass maker to get built up. We're using some bricks for that, which is kind of a slow going process right now. We only have the one person in there making bricks. So we're on the way. We just gotta wait for that. And we want to make sure that we have enough sand coming in. So we only have one person currently hauling in sand for us. We don't have sand, we can't make the glass. We don't have the glass, we can't preserve the stuff, and of course we just want to be able to do that. So let's just double check our total stock of sand right now. So it looks like we have 404 sand, so not too bad, but we aren't using it anywhere. So we want to just keep our eyes peeled on that as well. Lots of things to just watch for now. We don't have, okay, we have a decent amount of laborers now. So let's go ahead and sprinkle few of these people back into where we could utilize them. Forager, we got 5 more, and maybe we do 1 more person as a miner. I don't want to go too wild and use all of our laborers because we still have things we need to maintain. Especially, I noticed, if you don't have laborers, your buildings won't be maintained, and then they collapse, and it's a big problem. It happened in our stream. So I want to make sure that we have laborers continually going around and making sure that buildings are still working. Looks like we got some raiders here. Surprise, surprise. Go and visit these guys over here. So they're coming through the south. Let's go ahead and jingle jangle our bell. And we'll see how our towers do. I got a feeling it's not going to be quite enough. Let's see if we can get a better view in here. Oh, these are just our people running for their lives. Okay. So we've got a big herd of peeps coming in here. Our towers are doing some work. Don't know if I have any hunters nearby to help with this. So, well, let's see. We can sally forth and fight back a little bit here. Let's no, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Get in here, please. Let's just let the towers do their thing. If we need to, we can. Oh boy, we're gonna need to. That gate is not holding up. So it looks like we are gonna need to do some upgrading here sooner than later. Gonna kind of try and fight off a few of these people before they really get into the town here. The problem with the towers is that they have that minimum range. It's kind of a crappy thing, but yeah, we're gonna take a couple of big hits on this, I think. Can this guy even hit one of these peeps out here? Okay, so what I'm worried about is this. They're gonna get to our gold. We only have 100 in here, nothing too wild. So it's not gonna be that big of a deal, but we did lose a bunch of villagers. Yeah, good, we do have a couple more towers sprinkled around in here to keep our eyes peeled for invaders. That's good. We'll see what they can get away with. Probably some goods here. Okay, we had about 100 in here. No, they didn't even hit that. Interesting. Guess they're going for the goods, not the money. Where's this guy going? Oh, that collapsed? Uh-oh. Building destroyed during combat. Okay, we're gonna have to try and get that rebuilt. And that's gonna point out that we need some towers to defend over here. So that's something that we can add to our list of things to create here. It looks like they are retreating. Let's go ahead and jingle our bell again. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab our manage walls. I think we can do that here. Yep. Rebuild. We gotta rebuild our towers. And we gotta, like I said, we gotta consider turning our palisade walls into stone. It's gonna make a big difference. More time for us to act and defend our stuff. Go ahead and mark that as rebuild. I'm gonna prioritize this because if there's no market here, there's no food coming in. It's a big problem, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. 9 immigrants on the way. Good timing. Okay, so let's see what we got going on. Let's slow down just a touch. So 6 laborers. Let's see. We want to have foragers, herders. We want to have our food producers producing food. Looks like we lost one of our wagon people, unfortunately. And then let's go ahead and put another forager here. Speaking of our herder, that would be this guy. Let's check this out. So we only purchased 1 cow, and I was curious to see if the 1 cow would turn into 2 cows like they do in Settlement Survival, and it doesn't seem like that's the case. So we're going to have to buy at least 1 more cow. I'll probably buy 2 because this one we've had is kind of old. I don't know if it's still gonna be good to make other cows. We'll find out, I guess. But I think I'll buy 2 anyways, and we'll do that when we see our market person arrive, of course. I'm not sure how long that's going to be, though. Ooh, we are missing melee weapons. So coming back to our blacksmith forge where we set up for heavy tools. Let's see, in the last year, we did create 2 heavy tools, which is excellent. Let's see what we got for stock. We got 4. Okay, that's pretty good. What I think I'm going to do is we're going to tick this off. And actually, let's go like this. Let's go to 4 and 1. Let's make sure that we're still getting some heavy tools, but I do want to have some weapons. I also would like to get another blacksmith forge going here. How are we doing with our bricks? Looks like we got 20 in the last year. This can take about another year and change for this thing to get created. That's kind of a long time. Ooh, our new tannery's good. So we're still making some hide clothes for us. Let's double check our pelts. I think that's another thing that I moved into the trader to try and make some money with. 110 pelts. That's decent. Go back and check our trader here. What do we got in here? We have a handful of clothes. Yep, we got 50 pelts. A handful of clay and some baskets and shoes. Let's go ahead and transfer these shoes out of here. I'd rather our people use those, I think. We'll do that. Then hopefully we'll be able to have enough money to buy some cows. I think they were like 300 something. So let's go ahead and move some gold back to the trader. We'll be ready for that when it shows up. Let's go ahead and check on our brewer. Let's see if we have enough beer coming in. 96 in the last year. That's pretty good. So we should have a decent stock. Let's go ahead and check that out. Yeah, 96. Let's go ahead and put some people in our pubs. So we're going to activate this guy. We're going to activate this guy. And we got one more down here. So that's awesome. Lots of pubs happening. That's going to give us entertainment. It's going to further increase the desirability of our houses. Looks like the well I put out here doesn't quite reach this guy, unfortunately. So put another one in. I'm going to put houses probably all up in here. So we're going to need wells anyway. So we're going to go ahead and get this guy about right there. We should have enough to put another space in here. So I left a lot of wiggle room in these houses. And the reasons for that is, of course, for decorations. But I realized that we are going to be needing to use the statues here eventually to really get our desirability up. The large statue especially is a big increase in desirability. 2 up arrows versus just a 1 up arrow in desirability for these other 2 statues. So let's just take a quick little look at how big this thing is. It is quite large. So one thing that we could do is plop this guy like right in the middle. It looks like it has a pretty good area of effect, which is nice because it's so expensive too. 1,200 gold is a lot. So we don't quite need to do this yet, but I do want to remember that we want to put it here. So what we'll do is we'll do that and we won't construct it. So we'll have it planned, but we won't utilize it just yet. Over here we have medium statues that we can sneak in between each of these houses. 500 gold is a lot, of course, but it's something that we can do. So again, I think what we'll do is we'll lay them out and then we will cancel the construction until we get a really good amount of gold coming in and we can continuously get these things happening. I don't want to just have something partially built and have it just sit there, but what we do want to do is put in a couple of our small gardens like we have been doing everywhere else. Just kind of increase the desirability. We wanted to get it We wanted to get it to be at least 30. We're gonna go ahead and put a couple more in here like so. Glass maker is completed. So we do have 2 people working in here. I think I'm gonna leave that for now. We'll see how it does. If we need to move some things around, we can do that. We're currently sitting at 4 laborers, 5 builders, and I think I'm okay with that setup for now. The builders, of course, are working on all those nice beautification things that we set up by the houses. So we'll check back on our glass maker in a little bit, make sure that everything is working how it should. It looks like the tannery is still working great. We got 15 hide coats in the last year, continuing to clothe our peeps, which is amazing. 4 people working in there making soaps. Only 25 a year for 4 people, huh? Let's check this out. Maybe we need to take somebody out of here. 40% of the time idle. I'm gonna minus 1 person out of there. It looks like we do have a merchant that just pulled up. If we're lucky, maybe this is the cow person, and it looks like it is, but they want 500 gold for a cow. Okay, well, it looks like they are buying clothes and baskets, so we could sell them some of these things. Let's do that. We should be able to afford the cows now that we do this. 886. We did want 2. It looks like I'm gonna get away with buying 1 cow. So unfortunately, that's what we can do. So we'll go do the 1 cow for now, and we'll go ahead and select this barn. So we should have 2 cows in here. Yep, excellent. And hopefully we can get a 3rd cow here with a little bit of a cattle procreation, which would be excellent. And then we can start selling cows. Well, that'd be cool. I wonder if there's a merchant that buys cows. That'd be pretty slick. We do have a 2nd person here. Let's go ahead and just check out, see what they want. I think I'm gonna move. No, you know what? Let's sell these pelts. We got 600. That's pretty good. And then, you know what we could do? We can go back over here and purchase another cow. Let's go ahead and do that by the 1 cow. And now we did have the 2 cows that we wanted. New villager immigrated. That's good. We're at 190 population now. Pretty awesome. And I'm not sure that. Oh, okay. There we go. There's our 3rd cow. Since we got our glass maker going, we have 8 bottles created. Awesome. So now we can consider turning our preservist building back on and getting some of our veggies and fruits preserved so they don't spoil on us. But we're down to 2 laborers. I got 5 builders that I don't want to dedicate anything else. So for now, we're just going to leave it where it's at. And we're just going to wait for another batch of immigrants. Back over here, it looks like most of our gardens got their planks figured out, but we need some more stone. Stone has kind of been a recurring problem for us. We have to go all the way out here for any bit of stone. There's a good hunk of it right in here. Well, while we're out here, let's just retarget this here, and now we'll grab that big cluster of rocks. We got a little one over here. We have 50 bricks right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and adjust one of our brick makers. We don't use them right now, so it doesn't make sense to really be pushing hard on them. We're gonna tick that back 1, and then I'm gonna get our preservist building started up here. So let's go ahead and we'll activate that. Take 1 person out of there. I only want the 1 worker for now, and so that's gonna really help our preserving of our food. Now, I noticed something here. We got a couple buildings that have this repair deal above them, and they need some stone. So because we were using all of our stone, you can see we have a whole bunch of no stone. We're using all of our stone over here. We didn't have any to repair our building, so I turned all of these off. I want to get a little bit of a stockpile of stone before we do much more building over here, but I think that problem we'll have to continue to worry about in the next episode of Farthest Frontier. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you in the next one. Have a fantastic and amazing rest of your evening, day, or night.